Ah, there you are. Yeah, I've been away having a little fun with life, but I'm back. So everybody's hungry. Guess we better make some food. Does that ever happen at your place? Actually, tonight we're just going to kind of mess around a little bit. You see, Mrs. Chef had one thing growing up that I never did. And that was generations of family to hang around with or interact with or all that. So, we got married and I started meeting these people and meeting some of their friends, and it became obvious that Grammy and Grampy knew how to party back before they were selling wine for $2 a bottle, pardon me. $2 a barrel, sign me up for that one. So yeah, they used to make this party punch. Oh my heavens. Some of the recipes I heard for that were enough to make me wonder how people survive drinking that stuff. So, brewing. Making your own hooch. I got a story about that. Working in the computer industry, I had a lot of friends from other parts of the world. On the other side of a couple of oceans, that kind of thing. This guy said that when he was growing up, his family would harvest grapes. Neato. Then they'd put them in the basement. Okay? They'd lay them out all flat in the basement. And they'd stay there until the flies started buzzing around and the smell got really bad. And that's when they'd make wine. Yep. That'll tell you that this brewing stuff's kind of easy, and that human beings can put up with a lot of stuff, apparently, that I never really wanted to eat. But that's beside the point. So you got these 50s party punches that are kind of alcoholic, and like I said, some of them leave me going, how do people drink that and survive? So let's talk about how to make some. First, you need some generic fruit juice. In this case, I got some apple cider. It's got to be 100% pure. From concentrate, no preservatives, nothing like that. Yeah. Now the trick with that is keeping it from fermenting, to be honest with you. But we're actually going to do it. So, take one of those bottles, that's about 2 liters, 64 fluid ounces. Put in a teaspoon of your standard issue red label bread yeast. And then you do need something specialized. This is called a bubbler. And you can get something called an airlock or a bubbler or something from a brewer supply store. And if you don't have one of these hanging around and you actually have to order it, you might want to order some better yeast. Get yourself some champagne yeast or something like that. But I'm recreating a Housewife recipe, so I'm just using household stuff. Okay, so yeast, 1 teaspoon, 2 liters of fruit juice. Cap it. Now, Grandpa or Grandma would have used maybe a balloon or something like that. But these gizmos are a lot handier. First, they really work at keeping the oxygen out, because everything that makes a bad brew needs oxygen. So you don't want any oxygen or sunlight or anything that'll make any plant life grow. And this is key for keeping it out. But what's more, because it bubbles, you can actually keep track of your fermentation. So you'll know that after about 4 days, 5 days, your yeast has stopped bubbling. Okay. Now the other thing you need, sanitizer. Sanitize everything. Yeah, Grammy didn't do that, and occasionally she'd get a bad brew. But you sanitize everything, you keep the air out, you'll get the same brew every time. So what do we got in here? Well, You know how grape juice is sweet and wine is not? Well, apple juice is sweet. This is not. We did a 2-stage fermentation. I added the teaspoon of yeast, put it under there for about 5 days. You know, it stayed warm, stayed dark, and the bubbling stopped, so I decanted. Poured off all but about, I don't know, an inch or two in the bottom here, you know, because there was mud at the bottom. Dead yeast cells and everything you really didn't want to be drinking. So poured it off, and because I did a 2-stage fermentation, I added half a cup of dark brown sugar. Put the cap back on, threw it under there for about 5 more days. This time we didn't get as much mud at the bottom, you know, because of nothing else, we'd gotten rid of most of it. But it fermented for about 4 or 5 days, and now it's stable. There's still a little bit of stuff going on in there, but nothing serious. It's not going to blow up. Put it in the fridge to slow the fermentation, and we have some very sour, lightly alcoholic apple juice. So, what do you do with that? Well, if this were a 50s party, I'd mix it with something sweet and serve it to the guests and watch them all have a really good time. Oh yeah, that does happen. Or, because we're in the 21st century and we have all sorts of equipment and stuff, I might just freeze that down and make some Applejack. And see how much of a bad case of apple palsy I can get. Well, the important thing is that after the second round of fermentation, I decanted it again. So, no mud. Well, there's a little mud now. But pretty much no mud. Looks like apple juice again. But it is now alcoholic. Oh yeah, that smells like wine. So that's it. Mix that with something sweet. Serve it to your guests and have a nice 50s kind of wow party. So that's it. This is social media. Please be good social citizens and subscribe and all of that good stuff. Thank you. Goodbye.